town has a ghost story that's been passed down through the generations. But what if those legends were true? My name is Miranda Young, and I'm the Ghost Biker. Hey everybody, happy Thursday night. It's been a while. I guess it's been about 2 weeks on the show, but I am so happy to be back. And I am here live at the historic Scott County Jail. We're getting ready for a guided ghost hunt that's going to take place here about 9 p.m. But so we are on here at a special time here at 8 p.m. Eastern. So thank you all so much for bearing with us on this time change and getting with us and joining us here in the chat room. So I just want to say hello to everyone that's on here. Hello to Ms. Nancy Weems. Thank you so much for joining us in the previous hour. We did have the Jailhouse Informant podcast on here at the jail with myself and my business partner, Dr. Christy Sumner. And so I know some of you all tuned in on that. Hello to Miss Sonia Thompson, Miss Janet Alms, Mr. Daryl Paulette. He was a guest on the Jailhouse Informant a few weeks ago. We really appreciate him and Dee Dee coming on. Hello to Miss Mary Ann, Ronnie Anderson. He was our guest on the last show. So like I said, it's been about 2 weeks. If you did not see the last show, we had Mr. Ronnie Anderson and Miss Angie Dameron from Bedford Paranormal out of Virginia and West Virginia. They came on, they shared some of their favorite investigations, talked about their team, Enigma Cons, and a lot of different cool things that their team is involved in. And so they were great guests. If you did not see that show, I highly suggest you go back and watch it. Ronnie is a returning guest, and so we always love having him on. Hello to Miss Jolly Goins. Thank you so much for watching. James Brady, I hope you're doing well. Looking forward to using the music box tonight here during the Guided Ghost Hunt. Can't wait for that. Miss Susan Purcell, hello, and thank you so much for the early birthday wish. I can't believe that's already here. Mid 40s, here I come. Hello to Miss April Lau. I hope you're doing well as well. So again, thank you all so much. If you have any questions tonight for myself or tonight's guest, please, if you don't mind, please put those in the comment section there in all caps, if you don't mind, just so I can make sure that I don't miss you as we're going through. I want to say hello to Clover Hill Village. We did talk about them. We highlighted them last season in season 6 of Ghost Biker Explorations in our haunted villages. They are a new location that you can go out and investigate now. I mean, who doesn't like going to a new location and being, a couple of the first people to help kind of find out about the activity that's there. Clover Hill Village is very active. If you watch the season, we had a lot of activity, especially in the church. Daryl, he does an amazing job there with the village, and him and Becky and Dee Dee getting all of this up and going. I know they're booking and they've got a lot booked already, but if you are interested in booking an investigation at the Clover Hill Village, please go to their Facebook page. And there's 2 pages. One is Clover Hill Village. The other is The Clover Hill Village. And The Clover Hill Village is the one that you use to book your location or book your investigation. So definitely go and check that out. Hello to Rochelle Garner. Thank you so much for watching. And Miss Denise Pack. We had her and Ernie on talking about another great new location on the scene, which is Fort Duffield. So definitely, I love highlighting these new locations. And speaking of these new locations, we have a really cool event that's going to be coming up here on May 18th, and excited to be a part of this. It's called the Paranormal Places Meet and Greet. It's going to be taking place Saturday, May 18th at the Simpson County Historical Society in Franklin, Kentucky, also known as the Old Stone Jail. They're going to be having a meet and greet there. And what's unique and different about this Paracon is that it's all paranormal places. And so I'm going to be there representing the historic Scott County Jail. My business partner, Dr. Christy Sumner from Soul Sisters Paranormal, is going to be there talking about historic Rugby After Dark. And this is put on by Elite Vixen Paranormal and Reflections of the Paranormal, Miss Vicki Norris. I think that Denise, if I'm not mistaken, I think you and Ernie are going to be there. And then I know that Leanne Eskew is going to be there with talking about the Bell Witch Cave. And I think Ronnie D is going to be there talking about Old South Pitt Hospital, Old South Pitt Hospital, Old Harriman Hospital. Octagon Hall is going to be there. They're going to be talking about the Old Stone Jail. So this is going to be a lot of fun because, again, this is something, it is specifically about the locations and the people who have worked really hard on the preservation of each of these places. So come on out and learn about some really unique locations, or, you know, if you've investigated some of them, come and learn about some of the new things that's going on there. I know we'll have jail merchandise, historic rugby merchandise, and they are doing the meet and greet tickets are not limited, but the VIP paranormal investigation tickets, they are limited. So definitely you want to get in on that. I think they still have some tickets available to investigate the Old Stone Jail. So, again, something kind of different from these typical paracons that's out there. This is about the locations and getting the word out there and helping to preserve those locations. It's not about the paracelebs or anything like that. So that's coming up really quick. Also, we've still got dates available here at the historic Scott County Jail and historic Rugby After Dark, where you can come and either investigate the village or you can come and investigate the jail. Tickets are booking up pretty quick for these investigations. I know just in the last week, we've gotten it's crazy. We've gotten 12 investigations booked in the last week at both of these locations. So, we've got the calendars open I think we got them open till February of next year. So you can get on there, close out the year with a great investigation at both of these places. So, trying to think if there's anything else that I may have missed. We didn't do the show the last 2 weeks because the first week we were at the Haunted and Historic Bijou Theater listening to a lecture about the psychology of serial killers. That was so much fun and very, very interesting. And we hope that, and it looks like I'm frozen, not really sure what's going on there. But if you did miss that, we hope that you will check out, if they're touring in your city, the psychology of serial killers. So what better thing than to be surrounded in a historic and haunted location talking about serial killers. And then, of course, last week, we can't really talk about it just yet. We'll be able to talk about it on May 1st. But we were doing some really cool and exciting things all last week, some really long hours working on some things that hopefully we'll be able to announce here coming up very, very soon. So anyways, I want to go ahead and get to tonight's guests. I know for some reason I'm having issues with my internet freezing, which tends to happen at some of these haunted locations. But again, if you have any questions for tonight's guest, please feel free to put them in all caps and we'll make sure that we get to them because we are going to be sharing some really cool evidence and stuff tonight. So if you will, please help me in welcoming Mr. Bob Burnell and Miss Karen Daniels. Hello.
Hey, oh, look at my crazy hair. It's a crazy paranormal night. My hair is paranormal.
There you go. I'm telling you, all of a sudden things started freezing here on my end. It was kind of wild, but thankfully everyone over here in the comments is saying that everything's good on their end. So thank you all, first of all, for joining us a little bit early tonight and providing some really cool evidence that I'm going to be able to share here soon.
We're happy to be here.
Yes, very happy.
It's great to finally be able to talk to you somewhat in person, Bob. I know we chat in the chat rooms there and on Facebook a lot, but I was very thrilled and honored whenever you said that you would be a guest on the show and have Karen on. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and start by you telling folks a little bit about your team, Tempest, as well as how you all got started in the paranormal.
Okay. I grew up in a haunted house. I guess a lot of us did, and I was one of those people that did. Then, and that got me interested in the paranormal. Then, I was 17. My uncle committed suicide in a room in my house,
Oh,
and that increased our house like tenfold. I don't know what it was. Nice guy. It wasn't like a bad type of haunting, but he was a jokester in life, you know. He had cirrhosis of the liver, and I think the pain just got too much for him. So, but yeah. So anyway, that just spurred my interest in the paranormal even more, and from there, my mom did the same thing years later. Um, and yeah, it is what it is. But so then I had a heart attack in 2012, and I was dead for 18 minutes, and I don't remember a thing. And
wow.
it's so ironic because I'm so interested in the paranormal. You know, I was really hoping that, you know, I saw my relatives and all this sort of thing, and I don't remember a goddamn thing, you know.
Wow.
But with that being said, that really just made me. I started then in 2012, myself and Billy, um, who just passed away 2 years ago. My original partner started Tempest, and then we brought Karen on. And when Billy passed away, his family, I don't want to say they lost interest. They were our team. His
Mhm.
wife, his son, his brother-in-law, and his son's girlfriend were also part of our team. Now it's Karen and I, but they're
Okay.
always still welcome to come out with us. But they needed to take a hiatus for a while, and it's
Sure.
understandable, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, so now it's me and Karen, and we're killing it, you know. Um, Karen, do you want to?
Dynamic duo. Yeah, I got interested. Well, I've always been interested in the paranormal. And when I can remember, we live in the land of, you know, Jay and Grant, the original, ghost hunters. And they actually live not far from me. So they
Okay.
were on the radio once, right when they started. They were even still plumbing, and I thought, get out of town. People do this. People are looking for ghosts. It's like 2005. What's happening? And I have funky stuff that goes on in my house and follows me around. And there you go. You start looking for, the other people in your community. And now we have a whole lot of people that don't think you're crazy and want to go
Yes.
out with you. And yeah, paranormal stick together. So, Bob found me, actually. Bob and I worked together, but then he talked to me on Facebook, said, hey, join our team. And we've been doing this together since, and having a great time.
That's wonderful. Well, first off, I'm sorry about the loss of your partner. I know that's a tough thing. Good groups are a challenge to find sometimes, but it sounds like you all have a great group and great dynamics. And so, and judging by the evidence and stuff that you all have shared, you've got some pretty great stuff.
Yeah, we've been very lucky in that department. Actually, the first 2 years, we didn't get anything at all. I didn't get a single EVP or just, but we just kept at it,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now, quick question. After you said you died for that period of time, did you notice that the activity heightened after that event, or did you really notice a difference?
Um, it started to. Yes. I had all these weird things happen to me after that. Like I had burn marks on my chest. They revived me like 8 times or I'm
Wow.
sorry, 5 times in the ambulance just on my way to the hospital, But like I had this visiting nurse to me when I first got out of the hospital. She broke down crying, hugging me, and I'm just kind of standing there, like I didn't really know what to. I think I told you this story, Karen. And she was like, "Oh, you're meant to, do something, or you were put back on this earth." And I don't know about any of that. But yeah, it's been quite a ride, Billy, before he passed away, I lived right down. I moved. This is the 3rd year I've been living where I'm living now, and it's less than a mile from the house that I was living in. And that house is where I experienced an awful lot of paranormal activity. Like Billy was there with me, and we're just sitting there talking in the morning, having a cup of coffee and a cigarette or something, and had a clicker between us on the chair, and it just flew off the handle all by itself. And that's how it started, with stuff like that. And then it just escalated, But I was playing around with like spirit boxes and a lot of things in my house that I shouldn't have. A friend of ours, Jack Kenner, had warned me that, and I didn't listen. I thought I knew it all. And, you learn from your mistakes, Now I got crystals and black tourmaline, and I've got salt at all my doorways, and I'm fully protected from anything bothering me,
Yeah. So do you all go out and investigate a lot? I mean, do you do residentials, or do you do mostly commercial locations?
We've done mostly commercial, and I have to give a shout out to Jen and her group, New England Spooky Adventures, because
Most
she
definitely.
arranges a lot of stuff, which isn't easy. It's when you're just a small group like Bob and I, you got to team up with other groups. So we were lucky to be able to do that. So we've done a couple of private places, and I think Bob sent footage from one of them, but mostly commercial, which is great anyway, because even if I think there's kind of like 2 sort of teams. There's the people that like to do it recreationally, and then the people who are really investigating more than ghost hunting, looking for
Yes.
answers, what's on the other side. And you hone, even if you don't get to do somewhere private, those are the places where you can, hone your skills or learn from other people. What are they doing? And so we mostly do that. We try to get out like once a month or so. There is no lack of haunted locations in New England, just like
Exactly.
you all. Yeah. So it's just a matter, though, too, of finding them and information sharing, and teaming up with other groups. So
Absolutely. And you hit some really good points with that, about being a smaller team. And, we get a lot of that here at the jail, where teams will kind of pair up and come in. And it's always nice to see the people working together, because you see the dynamic, and they're just out having a good time, with their friends and stuff. But we see that. And then also what you said about the difference between essentially the paranormal investigators and the ghost hunters. That's a really good comparison that a lot of people don't realize, that there are those differences.
And there's nothing wrong with just ghost hunting for fun
No,
at all. There isn't.
not at all.
It's like you said, it's like 2 groups of 2 fields of thought, I guess, is how you'd want to look at it.
I think if we were called in, like we have done a couple private household residential, and we basically Billy and I did. I think Karen and I have done 1 or 2 as well.
Yeah.
But if we found anything serious, like a serious haunting, I would refer. I would verify that, and then I would go out. There's plenty of like more experienced people than us, and we know well, and I would refer it to put it in somebody's hands that were more capable than
Yeah,
myself.
don't go
We do
beyond your
all on the
ability.
investigative
Absolutely.
side of stuff and recreational, like Karen says, than
Sure. And
Yeah.
it's so different at that point because a lot of the time these people they're you become their lifeline,
oh,
and
sure.
it's not a one and done
It's a
type
serious
situation.
thing too, like if you don't know what you're doing, I think you're better off, just like I said, getting the right people to
Mhm.
step in and for their sake and even for your sake. If you don't, there's
Mhm.
nothing to mess with.
So it's just a totally different style of investigating,
Yes,
really.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what type of locations do you guys like to go investigate up there? And then we're going to get to your evidence.
I love
Mm,
historical places. Everything's really old here.
Mhm.
So, we can find some old stuff. And it's just, I always say, it's just great to see. I love architecture, I love history. So even if you go out and it's a dud for the night, it doesn't matter. You saw a great place. You saw
That's
some cool
right.
stuff. I mean, we've been to a few places where, Benjamin Franklin walked around on this property, and you're like, wow. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
I love the historical things. Yeah.
I,
Yes.
I want to give a shout out too. Like we have Don DeCristofaro, who runs the USS Salem,
Mhm.
and him and his team totally they put in like long hours from spring till fall. You know the deal, Miranda. And
Yes.
they don't make a penny. Everything they
Mhm.
do is for the USS Salem and the love of that ship. And so many other groups and so many other people here in New England. And I've been to Gettysburg once, but for the most part, I've been stuck here in New England. Not stuck. I love New England, but I'm just saying I'm limited to. I
Yeah.
can't speak for everywhere. Some people are a lot more traveled than myself and Karen, or myself anyway. But yeah, it's just Christy Paris, the Oliver House, another woman that's just done amazing things in this area for ghost hunting. She's opened up, she's shown towns how to run a business and make something work with historical properties. I just
Mhm.
can't say enough for all these people that are,
Absolutely. And
you know,
it is a lot of work.
and there's so
People just
many
don't realize
more. I
it.
mean, I could go on and on and on. We don't have the time, but yeah, it's just an incredible area here for ghost hunting. And
Yeah.
the people are dedicated.
And I think you have to be. I mean, because it's not one of those things you kind of have to be all in for it because it does take so much time and it really is a true passion and labor of love to do that because people think you own a haunted location or whatever that you're rolling in the money and so much money goes into keeping the upkeep
I was
of
gonna
these
say it goes
places.
to it goes
Yeah.
to preservation of
Yep.
Yeah.
where you're at. It's not You're not rolling in dough.
No.
That's not it at all.
And this
No.
is year in and year out too. Since 2012, I've known Dawn and
Mhm.
and Christy, and both of them have been hard at it, and they just haven't let up at all.
Mhm. And that's been a great thing that's come out of the paranormal is that it's such a great avenue. My business partner Christy has been doing she's been doing a study on this after dark tourism and how it's really helped these locations that
Yep.
are just open for museums. It's such a wonderful avenue to open up for investigations because the paranormal investigators they're traveling to the area and they're doing as long as they're putting out the correct historical narrative, they're a loud voice that's going to get help to get the word out about these
Most definitely.
locations.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
so what?
good things on the horizon here in New England and all over for
Good.
ghost hunters.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling up some of your evidence, and I
Okay.
want you to kind of talk about it. We're going to start with some pictures here. Give me just a second to get this get this pulled up here. Um, so, Okay, here we go. It always takes me a minute with the screens here. So here's the first one.
Okay. This is, I believe his name is William. And I don't know if Mary Elizabeth is on tonight. She's the one that took us on the tour. This is at the Farnsworth House in Gettysburg, and
yes.
an incredible place. Can't say enough about it. We were there for a week in April, right before everything started. And we had gone out, like myself and Billy and his family, and we had gone out like different times of the night. We were doing, tours like 2 or 3 times a day and night, hitting all the spots, trying to make the most of our time. We had 7 days there. But last night, we rented the Farnsworth House overnight, and it was incredible. And we just had a bunch of, this is in the basement. And there's a thermal shot of this coming up. I don't know if it's in the direct order, but of the same thing. But you can see his hat, the lid on his head, half the nose, the eye, the lip, and the goatee on his chin.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing. That's with a thermal camera. And it had 2 options. It was a flare, black and white and thermal. And I usually took both, so.
Okay, I want to see if that next one is I believe it may be. And you're right, that Farnsworth House, it is a thermal. Let me see if this is it. The Farnsworth House is just amazing.
Okay, well, this is the Sarah Black room on the 2nd floor. And if you look on the top left, you can see what we believe is Jeremy standing there in the window. You can see like the black hair. He almost looks like Elvis with like sunglasses or dark, deep set eyes. Then you see the shoulders that are black. So this is thermal showing heat. And you can notice that he is in purple in the black in the background, which would signify cold, You can see the heater in the middle of the room. It was like 68 in the room.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, let's see. See what the next one is, if that one's here we go.
That's the same photo. It's just a different setting, but you can see it a little bit
better
in the top left there, and I kind of got it boxed in just to highlight it.
Yeah. Now, I know you like to look at a lot of this with a scientific approach. And do you like to, what are some of your favorite tools that you like to use whenever you're doing some of these locations?
I've changed a little since, we grow and learn, and, since it's just Karen and I, and we're out with other people all the time, and there's new people coming and going, we pick up a lot from them, and we benefit from that, We're constantly being, and that's another thing I wanted to say was that all the different places, there's a lot of senior people in the New England area, and they're really good about teaching you, pulling you under their wing and showing you stuff, So I've at least really benefited from that. And I'm sure Karen has as well,
Oh yeah. You can't approach it like everything. There's always something to learn.
Yep.
Absolutely. And that's
I'm audio and video is what I like. I like Adobe Audition, and I don't remember the last time that we went out, I didn't capture an EVP. Now we just get them all the time, and
okay, let's see here. I was just kind of scrolling through the pictures right here. It looks like we've got a couple more pictures before we get into the video. This is not a thermal. This one, let's see here.
There's one of a bedroom that I hope you pull up.
Is it that one?
This is it right here.
Okay.
And the person, this is a video, and I just screenshotted like a frame in a video. And I'm standing here on the left with my camera, and I'm taking a shot of the room. We were on a tour with Mary Elizabeth and Olivia and Mary Elizabeth's sister, and they were giving us a tour of the whole house for the night. They were our ghost hunting guides, if you will. The inn, the Farnsworth house supplied them to us. So anyway, I take this shot. Billy is over on the other side of the bed taking this video here that you're looking at.
Okay.
And he had said how he felt something ice cold pass through him. Now, if you look on the bottom right of this photo, there's like a lens flare there, and you're the photographer, Miranda. It almost looks like a hamburger there on the end of that case. But now look to the left of that. There's two little hands, and they're like little ghost hands, and you can look right through them. They're translucent, and they're like it's like they're trying to get into that case. And
I'm gonna pull that up.
See that right there? See the hands?
Yeah.
There you go. And I could explain the little cheeseburger thing, like it's like a lens flare, because you can see the blue on the leading edge of it. But I don't understand how a lens flare would create two little hands, you know?
No, that's wow. Yeah. I mean, that's clear.
Yep.
And that's, let's see, and that
was only
what,
on
like a standard size box.
It was on a little like I bought these little, and these I bought years ago from Ghost Stop, and they were they're little small cameras that you could plug a battery pack into, you know.
Okay.
And it was just 1080p, you know. That's all they did, you know. Or they might have done 4K, but this is 1080p. But and it's just a freeze frame of that one shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, did they stay in that video for very long?
No, one frame only for both of them. And during the course of the night, and as I said, this is the Sarah Black room. So off to the left of here in this room, that bedroom is where you saw the thermals of Jeremy.
Yes.
In front of that window. And that was his nursery, is what we were told when he was a child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. We've got, okay, here's another room.
Okay, now this is a private investigation myself and Billy did. And I circled the center one for, I thought this was a spirit. And it wasn't. It was Billy and Justin, and this is 2012, 2013. We had just started, and I circled it just to show how you can look at something, and it looks like you can almost see like a head with hair coming down, and almost like, at least I can, and shoulders right there. But now look to the far left where it says second, and we captured an actual ghost, and you can see his head. And if you, I don't know if you can zoom in him anymore in that or not, but there's a face right there with a mustache and just the very neck and the start of his shirt, and that is it. So the lady that owned this house, I can give her first name, is Barbara. She verified that they had a thing where they were grilling out back. And this was during the day. And her son was grilling on a grill. And their downstairs from the front of the house was actually, they were on the side of a hill. So when you came out the back of that first floor, now you were up on a deck that you had to walk down. And then there's the ground floor, the deck outside below. He was grilling down there, and that guy in that photo walked up to him and took a swing at him.
Wow.
Yeah, and then disappeared. Wow. And now this house was only built in 1945, and there was nothing there before that. This is in the Bridgewater Triangle.
Okay.
And it's just ripe with energy. I'm not saying, I think we believe this is the original owner of the house. And
Okay.
that's a photo of him. But I had owned 2 REM pods, and we hadn't gone to Gettysburg yet when this was taken.
Mhm.
And our investigation there was the first time our REM pods had gone off in 2 years.
Wow.
And they were just going off all night long. So were the K2 meters and the Mel meters, and it was just crazy. It was just like one of those
No,
busy. We
and
were
that's
sick. We all got sick at the same time, which was really strange. And it was like at the height of the activity, sick to our stomachs. But it was all 3 of us. So. But we had all
fascinating.
come out and said, you can draw energy from us if you want. We were inexperienced. Now I tell everybody to keep their hands off of me.
You learn to set your boundaries.
That's a good example to show, this was not a ghost. We were all excited about this, and you're looking at the wrong thing in the picture. That creepy looking thing is not what you should be looking at.
And that happens all too often, I think.
Yeah.
That people, and then too, our minds are not reliable resources when it comes to that, because I find so often people don't really pay very close attention, especially if you're doing investigations with a lot of people. They don't pay attention necessarily to who's in the room or what's going on. And I think a lot of the time things, our mind confuses us sometimes and we don't always remember. So that really is a perfect example. And it's a perfect example of a distraction as well. That was
we were lucky that we caught the guy on the left. But and to be honest, I posted that thinking I had this great evidence of the guy in the fridge, and it was a flashlight with a hose up there. And then I removed it, and I was just looking at that saying, trying to learn from it. And we were rookies, and I was a rookie anyway. And that's when I noticed the guy on the left. And that's when Barbara had spoken up and said that, that's the guy, the original owner of the house, So pretty crazy.
How cool that she was able to identify. That's the best.
Oh, yep. We caught EVP out back. We had like a trail cam posted out back of singing, old-fashioned like 1940s singing out in their backyard. The house was super active.
Wow, that's really cool. Let's see here. I've got a video from the Isaac Morse house.
You go ahead, Karen, and
let me get this
is that my
queued
favorite?
up first. I'm going to pull this up here, and if you want to set it up before I play it, that'd be fine, and then we can play it and talk about it. Is this the one you were thinking of?
No, it's not the one I was thinking of, but it's still good. This is actually the yes, you're right, Isaac Morse. And in the bottom right corner, so we had a camera trained on these stairs all night long, and this is one of the things you learned. Like, nothing happened. We're thinking we're going to get something miraculous going up these stairs. But then Bob's got a great eye, and he caught in the corner a shadow that goes past, and it happens at no other time, goes past the, if you look at the right side of the door frame, and you can see a little outline of what is like a fireplace mantle, kind of. And the shadow goes by like that. And Bob managed to catch it and say, hey, wait a minute, what is this? And when we were there that night, I totally recommend the Isaac Morse house. All we could hear all night long was people downstairs making noise, whispering, moving around. It was one of these places where wherever you were, the ghosts weren't, the spirits weren't. They didn't want to be with you. They wanted to be everywhere else. So this is a good example of that happening.
All right.
And there's 2 videos here. This, I believe this video is the frame by frame, I believe. And this
Okay.
will clearly show it. And the other video is just a regular video at regular speed. And you do see something pass in front of the camera quickly.
Yeah, this is the frame by frame.
Yes. So this white frame here on the right in this dark room, that is what we're calling a fireplace mantle or
Okay.
whatever. That's where you notice the shadow, and it's going to happen in just a moment here.
And of course, you do your debunking.
Oh,
It
wow.
wasn't,
how the
yeah, it's
mantle
really
just-
dark.
Yes. So something
And
passed in front of the camera, between the camera and the staircase.
right.
Wow.
And we know it wasn't, I had pulled every shade down in front of every window. And at first we thought, well, what if it was a car going by? A car going by wouldn't do that. It'd get bright and then go away, wouldn't get darker and then go away. So that was, but at regular speed, honestly, I don't know how Bob caught it, but he did. So when you see it at regular speed, it's fast. It's
I don't
really
have a
fast.
life, Karen. That's what it's called.
What?
I don't have a life.
Let's see here. I think you included the okay, it may be this one. Let me pull this up and see if this is the
I have this. You see it pass by. You can watch the door frame. You see it pass by that door. That's where I first got it. Yeah, I'm tightening up one or two with some. Here I come again. Like
Yeah, it's so fast.
Watch the door frame.
Oh
See
yeah.
it?
Wow.
It's quick, but you can catch it right there. And that's what drew me. Then I went frame by frame and got a better look at it. It seemed like I couldn't see it, shoulders or anything like that. From ceiling to floor in that frame, it's just black, but it does cross from the right side to the left side of the frame, you know?
Yeah, I was hoping for a shoulder or something, but that didn't happen. But it's one of those things, like when you see something like that, it doesn't happen again. You can't explain it. Can't explain it. Paranormal. And what are you going to say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that was quick. That is a really good catch, Bob, because when you do slow it down like that, I mean, you can clearly see that something does cut across through there. That's actually really phenomenal. Let's see here. And I apologize for playing any of these out of order.
Oh, that's I put them. I wasn't very professional the way I should have a package setup or something. We've never done this before. This is Karen and I's first time out. You know.
No, this is fantastic. I love it when people send really good evidence, because being able to showcase what people do is one of my favorite things to do here. So this is another video, and this one is also from the Isaac Morse house.
Go ahead, Karen.
Whoops, it started playing all of a sudden.
So in this room, you can see that there's a white door toward the back, and it's got one of those little old-fashioned latches on it. Like on one side, you put your thumb, and on the other side, it lifts up out of the lock. So you can, it might be too quiet here, I'm not sure. But these are Bob posted them on the Real Deal Paranormal Evidence, I think. You could actually hear the latch click. The people in the room don't even notice that it happened, and the door swings open.
Okay.
And Bob and I went back the second time. What do you do? Debunk, debunk, debunk. We did everything we could to make that door open. It would not open. And then we discovered that that latch doesn't even work. You can just push the door. It's not actually connected to anything.
On
And
the
we see
door
that
frame, the
happen.
hook that little arm sits
Yeah,
into is
It's not
missing.
connected.
So
And
you
so
could just push the door and open it if you wanted to.
there's
So you
no
don't
need.
need to press the thumb latch to open it.
No.
Yet
And
when the
then we
door
found,
opens, you can hear
yeah.
the thumb latch.
And then
Oh,
we found
nice.
online another group that had gone there, and they mentioned the same thing, that actually scared them, that they heard the door unlatch and open. And we didn't know that until well after we saw this
Wow.
video. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool.
That's
and the fact
really
that
cool.
nobody else in there notices that it's happening is even stranger.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and play this.
And they're awake. That's the weirdest thing. You know?
Yeah.
It's not like they're sleeping. Come closer.
I heard the click, but I don't know if
I got this and it tightens up.
Yeah, you can barely hear the click.
Right.
Wow.
I have a headphone amplifier at home that I wear. So I can really, like, you see the signal on the far right of the screen. This is Adobe Audition. Where we are right now that I got highlighted that's looping, that was initially just a flat line running across there. So I have this amplified like 60% or something, but you still need headphones to hear it well. You know?
Wow.
But the fact you can see the door is cool.
And we could not make that door open on our own.
Yeah, we were jumping up and down on the floor, and you know.
I love how they're just doing their thing on their phone.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Let's see here.
And that's also the Isaac Morse house.
Yes.
Same place.
Yeah,
That
can't
looks
say
like a
enough about that
fantastic
location.
place.
Very active.
Let's see here. Is there a particular one, Bob, that you want to make sure I pull up? Because I know we are getting a little close on time here.
They're all about the same. Just do the ones that you happen to hit, and that's fine. Unless it's something you want, Karen.
Did you put the video of, I don't know if it went through, of Murdoch Whitney with the doorway in the depth of the
I did. Yes, I'm pretty sure I did. Yes.
I don't know what you called it, but it doesn't matter.
Should be a date on there that says Murdoch Whitney, November.
Murdoch Whitney.
Of I think last year, was it last year, Karen? No, it was the
year.
Last year, I believe.
Let's see.
We caught a full-figured spirit in a doorway at Murdoch Whitney.
Oh, we need to show that one.
Great place to investigate too.
Did you say that was September?
November, I think.
November. Let's see. There's September. There's the James house.
Okay, not that one.
Let's see here.
That's the amen on the. I was saying the Lord's Prayer, and you
can on the James house
on an EVP saying amen. You know,
I am not seeing one that's labeled.
Well, and you can see, I think, any of them on the Real Deal.
Yeah,
can't you, Bob?
Or our Tempest website on our Facebook page. You just go to media. And just show whatever you want, Marianne.
Yeah, so whatever we don't see tonight. Good.
Yes, and I definitely recommend, while I'm looking for this, I just want to make sure to say, I definitely recommend looking up and following their page. We've got the notes there in the description there of the post. We also have, let's see, maybe this is it. We also have, let me see if this is it, Bob. Also recommend you guys going to the Real Deal Paranormal Evidence. Would this be it?
This is it.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, whoops, let me stop that and start playing automatically.
So you have to look way in the depth of the frame. There is absolutely nobody down this hallway. And out of a side door that is actually like a little, at the time, it was like a storage room. So it would be the door on your right. And luckily it's backlit by the hallway. You'll see a shadow start to form. And then a whole head and a shoulder peek out, go back and come back out a little bit again. It's a little small on the screen, but like I said, you can go back to Real Deal and see it, but you should be able to see it because of that hallway backlight.
Look at those two reflections, the white reflections on the right, that are white on the woodwork. That's where you're going to see, like right there. Yes. You'll see a head pop out. There's a doorway right there on the right that you can't see. And you see somebody pop out there and they look and they pop back, and they do that a couple times.
Okay. I'll maximize this when I get it playing here.
And later on, I caught a orb, and I'm not a big orb guy. I have a friend, Robin Kale, who her house is.
So everybody that you hear talking is not at that end of the hallway. There's nobody down there.
I got creeped out by all the dang moths.
This was just a static camera.
I grew up with her in the shoe clothing store. She used to kiss gypsy moths. Oh, gross.
What in the world?
Right?
Wow. Something's got to let me pull that up.
Yeah, it's tough to view it this way.
Jesse really loved all your butterflies.
Full screen, you can easily see
like
a knee, a foot, and like the head and like a shoulder slip out of there and slip back, you know?
I was trying to freeze it there.
And the guide of the house.
There it is.
Video. Yep. That they had downstairs in the piano room. And all the investigators, see, that's better. All the investigators were, and I watched like 5 hours of video of this afterwards. You can see like a head there right now.
Yeah.
But this room, right where that figure is, does come out where this doorway is here, right on the first right. And it loops between those two
there
rooms.
It goes.
And but nobody came out of those rooms. And like I said, I sat there and watched it for the rest of the evening. And that's why I was pretty confident that we had accounted all the people in the house, and we couldn't account for somebody staying like 4 hours in that room, you know?
Yeah. Wow. I gotta say, Bob, that is some good eyes.
It was like a basketball size orb, and it was right where that doorway was, and then it came right towards the camera, and it started out small and just got really big. And it was the only orb we caught all night. So it wasn't like, and these aren't IR cameras. I was using regular cameras with RGB lighting. So
I mean, that's a really fantastic capture.
Thank you.
You know, and I mean, I love to see teams going back and watching their static cameras, because I feel like enough people, you know, do not take the time to watch all that, because you find such great little hidden things in
Oh, yeah.
your investigations. And you hear so many people say, "Oh, last night was a dud," or whatever. I didn't
Hey, Rich.
didn't catch something. But when you really go back and look, if you just sit and watch, you never know what you're going to catch. That's freaking cool right there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. I think you included the orb. And that's the thing too. I think you look at when it comes to orbs, I'm not the type of person that says, you know, all orbs are dust or what have you. I think you have to look at what's going on. We always tell people we keep the jail here very clean. When people catch orbs and stuff in here, it's really unusual. Now, that doesn't mean that a bug doesn't come in or something, but
We were at a private investigation, myself and Billy,
okay.
and the people in the house, though the house was very haunted, they
Mhm.
had central air, and you could
Yes.
see like 10,000 orbs coming at you, and they were all traveling in the same direction, And these people thought their house, and no offense, you live and learn, I'm not
Mhm.
downing them, but
Mhm.
I'm just explaining that because they were all going in the same direction and they do have central air, that
Yeah.
that was the cause of it. It wasn't, and it was IR cameras, so
Yes.
they do pick up light. It reflects the light off the dust, I believe.
Yes. Now, is it a photo or is it a video
Well,
that
that
you were
one that
talking about?
I don't think I included that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Looks like there's one more video right here. I'll go ahead and pull that up and then we'll kind of wrap things up.
Okay.
This one is a private location EVP of a little girl.
Oh, I love this one. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So private location, it's a historic place where the people there were kind of afraid to go in and volunteer because they felt something was going on and it was starting to scare them. So what do you want to do? You want to help these people. You don't want to see them not want to go to the place that they love to be at. And we caught this little girl like singing and it was amazing. And after hearing something like that, hearing some little child that's just content and having a good time by herself, that and a bunch of other evidence that we got there, just everybody felt so much better. And I mean, that's the ultimate when
It was rewarding doing the
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and play that. I'll pull that here.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
At the end of this, you hear a spirit say, Amen.
Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Oh, wow.
Lead us not.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Wow.
Yeah, so unfortunately, that's not the little girl, but go to Real Deal. You'll find it there.
Let me see one more thing. I may have.
And that's the James house in New Hampshire.
And then
Another great place.
Yes.
here we go. Then yeah.
This is the correct one.
Okay.
think it's hard to hear.
She's singing in the background right there through the whole entire thing.
Yeah, you can hear that really well on with the headphones.
Right.
It almost sounds like it was, in a way, almost like it was singing "Jesus Loves Me" or something.
I
Yeah.
can't figure out what it is, but yeah, or
It's got that
you can hear
rhythm to it.
yeah,
Mhm.
you can hear it without headphones if you want to pull it up on your own. But no, it's really clearly a little girl singing.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean it's right there. Let's see, and I'm pulling up, or I mean putting up the link here in the comments. But we do have it in the show notes as well. And it's the Real Deal Paranormal Evidence. That is a group that Bob and Karen have. They allow us to share all of our shows and evidence on there. We really appreciate that. They've got their evidence on there. Some incredible captures, guys.
Well, thank
Thanks.
you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing them with us tonight. And I want to thank everyone over here in the audience that's watched and commented. And if you will, go check out their page and also go and join their group. I know that you guys are always posting great content out there.
Yep.
Thank you.
We-
And thank
we try to
everybody for
support
showing up.
everybody.
all our
Yeah,
friends.
thanks everyone.
Yeah, and that's what we need more of is, supporting other people and supporting groups. I mean, that's what we need more of here in this community. We definitely need to have you guys back on, and
Oh,
when
we'd
we're
love
not so
We would
rushed
love
for
to be
time
here. We'd love to come
talk about
again.
more stuff. So I'll get
Yeah.
with you after the show here, and we'll get another date set up because, like I said, I want to make sure that we have you guys on and talk more about some of the evidence and some of your captures. This
We
is
certainly
phenomenal.
have a lot more.
Yeah.
Well, we will definitely have you guys on to highlight that. Just a show note: next week we will be back next Thursday night, and I'm going to have Sean Young on the show. He has a wonderful podcast, and he actually has a couple podcasts that I've been a guest on. Christy's been a guest on. We've also had some of the folks who are here in the chat room have been a guest on as well. So we're going to be talking about that and talking about some of his captures as well. So that's going to be next Thursday night on the 2nd. And like I said, don't forget about the Paranormal Places meet and greet that's going to be taking place on May 18th. So again, thank you all so much for coming on tonight and sharing your evidence. I look forward to chatting with you again in the future.
Thank you,
Yep.
Miranda.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you all in the chat room. I hope you have a wonderful week. And if I don't see you on an investigation here at the jail or rugby, get that booked, and hope to see you all soon. So take care, everyone.
Good night,
Thanks.
everybody.